Prediction: Donald Trump will not only win re-election, he will win in a landslide. He will win a state that historically goes blue. Maybe New Jersey, maybe New York, could be Illinois. The corporate media establishment, they don't have a clue. People like Joe and Mika don't get it.
I want to explain that.
It's funny
because there's a woman who accuses him of smelling her hair. He's not interested in your hair. Okay? He was going on stage and he took a deep breath before he went on stage, and you took it deeply personally, and now you're writing a New York Times op-ed about it, demanding an apology. This, once again, is completely ridiculous. I'm done. You guys can continue to talk about this. I won't. I refuse to give it any more time.
They're too busy living their exclusive life. What about Chris Cuomo? Doesn't get it. Trying to guide you through COVID from his summer house in the Hamptons. Anderson Cooper, one of the most privileged people in America, lecturing you about how bad our president is. They are all so secure in their fortresses of wealth and comfort and have never been more disconnected and removed from the country they cover. Because America does not want what's happening right now. It's not good, it's not wholesome, and most of it is criminal. I've seen the city ruined. I've seen riots in person, not on television, in person. And when you experience these things, feel them. Forget seeing them on television. When you feel your personal physical security is threatened, that your home might be threatened, like when rioters came by my home where my family was, you're voting for Trump. There is a secret swing voter out there. They typically vote Democratic, but they are horrified by riots, the destruction, the irresponsible and reckless things that are being said about our American heritage and this cancel culture. The country has been ravaged by the left, and they want COVID to be worse than it is, and they're facilitating riots in Democratic hubs like Portland, New York, Los Angeles. Tell me, was there significant looting in Arkansas? Democratic politicians turned down, actively fought help from the federal government. Andrew Cuomo, Bill de Blasio, there's Cuomo. He enjoyed all the extra attention. He never missed a workout, and he worked on his tan. Joe, of course, Joe Biden, now works for the far left. After 50 years of public life, he suddenly thinks this about our country.
We have a chance to rip the roots of systemic racism out of this country.
It was like a 2-minute 4th of July, happy 4th of July message. Kept talking about systemic racism that exists right now. Do you think America is a systemically racist country? Do we know what Joe really stands for? Not really, because he can't make it through an interview. He needs special care. Rebuilding this country from the rubble of COVID. Can Joe Biden really do that right now? And by the way, what is his skill? What is he actually good at? Now, think about this. What are his accomplishments? Think hard. I have the answer, actually. It is shaking hands and getting people to like him. He's not famous for any legislation. He's just a professional politician, and getting himself elected and reelected, that's what he does. Now, Joe likes to get close, sometimes too close. We've all seen those videos. And that talent is not only useless right now, it's impermissible. That brings us to Donald Trump. And sure, the president shoots his mouth off, maybe too much sometimes, but before he became president, he was very good at turning ideas like this into something like this, and then ultimately into something like this. He's done it thousands of times, and he's had his setbacks. He knows what it's like to lose it all and come back. He is a survivor. And they've sabotaged his presidency, in part because they were afraid to see him succeed so much. But he can bring us back, I am confident, and that will kill the opposition. One of the reasons he's hated by them, by the way, jealousy. Jealousy, yeah. Even Republicans who are supposed to be working with him, they're jealous of that kind of success, and they want to take it all away from him, and they don't care about hurting, even destroying the country in the process. And that brings me to their plan, the Democrats, which Barack Obama, who graced us with a public appearance today at a funeral, he tried to make voting by mail seem like a civil rights issue. Here, he all but announces their plan to try to steal this election.
Attacking our voting rights with surgical precision, even undermining the Postal Service in the run-up to an election, that's going to be dependent on mail-in ballots so people don't get sick.
Wow. Voting by mail. Undermining the Postal Service, it's not about that. We are not set up for that kind of election, and they know it. And they know it's a corruptible process. Ask Jimmy Carter, the former president of the United States, who chaired a commission on voting integrity. Voting by mail raises concerns about privacy as citizens voting at home may come under pressure to vote for a certain candidate, and it increases the risk of fraud. Now, guess what? Since that report 15 years ago, the technologies have not been improved significantly. Democrats, media, they are all pushing now vote by mail. Now, just for a moment, President Trump floats the idea with a question mark about maybe postponing the election. Delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote? Question mark. Okay, what happened? On cue, they all go insane. Trump can't delay the election, but his tweet is terrifying. They all went nuts. Again, the other side is talking about vote by mail. He talks just for a moment about delaying the vote. No criticism of voting by mail, but see what's happening here? Just have faith. Just have faith. It's going to work out. You got to vote. You got to get your friends to vote. Remember, the media are both crooked and clueless. By the way, I love watching those videos. Whenever I get down in the dumps, back in 2016, the run-up to the election, I mean, how wrong they were. It works. They cheer you up right away. How all of them got it so wrong. By the way, they should have changed everything about their jobs, how they did their jobs. Instead, they're repeating every single one of their mistakes and digging an even deeper hole. I'm glad I'm not one of them, that I did not grow up like them. You know, the best training to be a journalist is to spend a lot of time not being a journalist, and for that, I'm very grateful that I joined the Marines. I am thankful to the Marine Corps. They sent me all over the world and all over the country for about 10 years. One of the greatest educations you can get in the military, and living with people unlike you all over the place. From Tumsuba, Mississippi, they sent me to Yuma, Arizona. America, thank you. And by the way, see your recruiter. If you're interested, don't let them talk you into it, but I do recommend it.